Counting down to the show. Dun, 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 dun. Probably ought to get some weed ready to smoke when I start the show. Should have thought this out better before, yeah. But now I'm doing it anyway. Oh, look, there's Jaden. Hey, hey, hey. I'm cleaning some weed, so don't go away. The show will start pretty soon. But I'm getting high first. I'm smoking some weed, well, not really smoking, but I'm cleaning some weed, but I have been smoking all sorts of weed before now. I'm grinding weed now, getting weed chopped up. I'm grinding weed now, getting weed chopped up. I'm grinding weed now, getting weed chopped up for the show. Yeah. Oh, the song. Oh, that cool song ought to start pretty soon here. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Everybody enjoy the theme song, and then I'll be here. I'm drinking coffee, I'm getting stoned, and if you join me, I won't be alone. I'm drinking coffee, I'm getting high. Coffee with Wes. Yeah. Cheers and welcome everybody to another episode of Coffee with Wes. I am Wes. This is my fresh cup of Tim Hortons coffee that Amazon finally decided to deliver today. It is December 1st. It's late in the afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's like 4 here. It's like after 4 here. And it's been a great day. I hope everybody else out there is having a great day. Because did I mention it's a great day? I am having a fantastic day. I woke up today. And you know, it had been a couple days. You hadn't seen a Coffee with Wes in a couple days, have you? Well, that's because Wes hasn't had any coffee. Wes hasn't had any coffee. Wes had ordered coffee. Coffee was supposed to be here on time, so there'd be no interruption in the coffee service. But Amazon decided, hey, this pack of coffee, this is too hard to get there at the promised time. And so Amazon took their time. They missed the day, and they said, hey, tomorrow. It's going to be there by 10 p.m. tomorrow. We know it's going to be there. And tomorrow came. And all day long they said, it's coming today. But I saw it wasn't out for delivery. And I thought, oh, you're pissing me off, Amazon, because I got no coffee. This is not the way to do this. The one thing you don't want to screw up is a man's coffee. And they didn't get the coffee to me. And so I was quite disappointed in that. And then they said, oh, by December 2nd. Yeah, I was sure it'll be there by December 2nd. And I thought, that is the most asinine thing to tell me. I can't even... And then today, this morning, I got up and I had the notification it was out for delivery. It was a couple stops away. I took the dog out back to do the business, came back in, and it was on the stoop. So it's like, oh, everything has turned good. Everything that I worried about is better. And what they did to me, and they did this before to me when they screwed up an order like this. I had another pending order for... Well, and I have yet to see if the Chips Ahoy cookies are all smashed up. But I had another pending order, and so I got that pending order today, a day early. It was supposed to be here tomorrow, and so they rushed that on out, which means, oh, I'm feeling good, which means the machine gets an upgrade that it needs, and everything should be a little bit better with the programming here, with the service and all that other stuff. I'm hoping the camera lags will go away. I'm hoping I'll be able to do the watch me works again that I have done in the past. I love doing those watch me works. Those are like the most fun. Alice, peace and love. Peace and love out there, Alice. It is the time to medicate. Yes, it is. That was what I was doing the countdown and I was getting some clean. I have medicated all day. I hung out with beautiful Allie earlier. We were hanging out doing some. She put out a short today. Put out a short with the Go Bills with her face in the O, doing this funny face at the end. It's hilarious. If you are connected to Allie, take a look at her channel and take a look at the most recent short because it is fantastic. Apple Tree Blood, peace and love out there. I hope you are having a great day. It is a great day. I got coffee again. I haven't had coffee in days. And anybody who is a coffee addict like me knows, ooh, that must have been a hard time for you. And I had to do lives. I had to do all sorts of stuff. We had a great live yesterday. We had a great live. Yes, tickling that like. That's the way to do it. You tickle that like. It likes to be tickled. As most things should. Most things should at least get some sort of kick out of being tickled. Let me drop the banner again. I got to get back in the format because now I got coffee, and I'm going on natural today as opposed to making the blue and all the other stuff. And I'm not sure why. I think it's because of the pink. I think I don't know. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. It is December. It's the last month of the year. I'm getting a paper ready for those of you that are wondering what I'm looking down at. It is the last month of the year, and I am going to make this month great. I feel like I am going to, I could just be blowing smoke. It could be one of those where I'm blowing smoke and and the month beats me down and the weather gets in the way and things along those lines. Ooh, a dark roast. I have, my Tim Hortons arrived. The Amazon that they didn't have it. I have been out of coffee for a couple days. And this was supposed to be here in time. And it finally arrived today, right after I woke up. So it was perfect timing for me to go. Yesterday, I developed a little bit of a headache in the back of my head. And I wondered, is that the caffeine addiction? Is that what that is? Because it was mild. It was a mild headache, but it was there. And I don't get headaches. And so that bothered me a bit. Let me get this rolled up. So I can put on that happy vibe, put on that good time vibe of enjoying the weekend, enjoying some coffee, and enjoying some weed, because that is to me the perfect combination. Weed and coffee. I had a song. I think I've had several songs about coffee and weed. Those are and the wake and bake, that sort of thing. Got some snow. It was the snow. The outdoors can be really nice when you do have the snow. I just had a dusting this morning when I woke up, and there were still snowflakes coming down, but it has gotten the sun. The clouds aren't bad enough to where the sun's not peeking through, and it melted everything off. And I think we're maybe upper 30s here today. Now, we're not going to get, I think we're going to have a high of about freezing for the rest of the friggin' week, but until rain comes. And then I think cold after that. It's winter, or not yet. It will be in 21 days. We've got 31 days left in this year. 31 days left in this year. What are you going to do to knock off one more thing out of the year that you want to accomplish this year, that you don't want to have carry over into next year? Something you want to get done this year. Is there something? Because you can give yourself a mental boost by just knocking a small thing out. Get what you can done by the end of the year. So next year isn't just this year I hope to, so that next year is last year I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. This year and then you approach it. You approach it much more positive that way, and you get you get that energy level that you need. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. If I don't find a working lighter, there's gonna be. Oh, I got a working lighter. Don't worry, we're okay. I have matches in case things go south on the lighter front and everything. Here we go. Here we go. Now it's a coffee with Wes. Now we are feeling good. It's a great day yesterday. Even though I didn't have coffee, we had lives we had to do. We had to do our puff rally last night. Burn one for the Bills. That went great. We had great viewership. OG came up and smoked with us. Mo came up and smoked with us, Big Mo. But he couldn't hear us. So that was kind of a downer. It was awesome having him there on the show, but he was unable to hear us and everything. And it'd be nice if next time. I hope that his audio is going to be able to come through. Probably just has to set it in this EV Mux. He's used to StreamYard. Getting it set up in EV Mux has got to be a different situation. But that went well. We did the 2 hours for that. Got good viewers. Got good numbers. So I felt like it was a positive. And then Allie and I sat in for Gary over at Camp Gmail. Camp Gmail, for those of you that don't know, every Saturday night they have a 5-hour open mic. Well, Allie and I had offered to give him a night, if he wanted an easy night and everything. So he didn't show up till, I think it was 2 a.m. because it's a 5-hour thing, and 4 hours into it is when Gary showed up. So she and we opened it up as cartoon characters. Well, I apologize for the coughing. I was a cartoon character. I was Steve the alien, and she was Azura, a puppet, an alien puppet, a queen spider alien. Hey, rabbit, peace and love. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. I've been doing larger ones lately. I've been smoking like a fiend, but I'm doing larger. And the coffee. I finally got coffee, so I felt like I could do a coffee with Wes. It would have been disingenuous of me to do a coffee with Wes and be drinking some sort of hot lemon tea because I didn't have any coffee in the house. Damn, it keeps going out. But no, we had that, and so we started off that show and surprised everybody as these characters. We did a song. We did some sort of improv there with... it's Saturday night open mic and all that other stuff. People seem to be having a good time. We were jazzed off of it. We got up and continued on the party. Well, that'd be nice. If my income, you'll know because it'll be income based. The joint size is based on income. Because I'm gonna smoke the same number of joints one way or the other. It's just, can I afford to smoke that much? Jaden, so if Troy starts using Restream, is there a way to co-stream? I do not know with Restream. I do not know if Restream has co-streaming, if they allow for that. And if you're, Jaden, if you're looking to get watch hours, YouTube, if they see that all your watch hours come from something that's off of another channel, they're not going to count them. They're going to dispute the watch hours. Now, you may just be doing it because you want to have people coming over and enjoying the vibe. If that's the case, but if you're worried, then you're good to go. But if you're worried about watch hours, then that's the issue. There is they won't count those. They won't. They'll end up taking those away from you. So be mindful of that as you're moving forward. But I don't know if Restream has. I don't know if anybody. The only reason I'm able to, because I have it set up in here in the account for Allie's channel and for those things, and that's why she's able to use this same account, and we are able to, if we wanted to, we could stream to both. But it doesn't have a guest restream capability like StreamYard has. And to be honest, with the way that it causes a problem with monetization, I wouldn't want to do it. You don't see Allie and I streaming the same thing on our channels simultaneously really anymore, because we know that it's taboo. And that Pole Vault, a musician, great guy, got his channel monetized. Well, then after monetization, a while afterwards, somebody else who was had been on one of those where they had the multiple channels streaming at them, and there'd been some sort of conflict, but it put into question all of Pole Vault's hours, and they said a lot of your hours here come from these joint streams that you've been doing. So he had to deal with disputes there, and I try to stay clear of that. Michael, peace and love, Michael. I hope you are having a great time there on your excursion. I hope everything is going well. I I'm doing the best I ever did. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing the best I ever did. Please don't go away. I mean, unless you're doing something cool. If you're doing something cool, I understand. And find something. Find something. Oh, if anybody's doing something cool, tell me about it. I love to hear stories of people doing something cool. It was a good day today because Allie and I got together and we were hanging out. And then she took this footage of her face inside of the Go Bills image, made a short out of it, and we walked through a couple of things that she hadn't done before in Premiere Pro, and so that all came together. Yes, yes, excursion well, my friend, excursion well. That is that is the way to live life. Live life and enjoy. And you got a live gig. I hope that turns out to be a great gig. I hope there's a fun crowd, a good crowd that gets into it. You deliver. So the whatever the crowd is, I know they're gonna get a kick off of your music and everything else. They're gonna enjoy that. I'm envious. I'm envious of those who do play live. I don't know that I would join a band again because of issues with other musicians, and I really don't have where I'm at. I am not the average. There isn't a tavern bar anywhere with a open mic. That is my crowd of people. I am not normal for around here, and so with that being said, I tend to stay at home and I gravitate to the online stuff because that way my kind of people and all that other the people that are a little more open minded about things, a little more liberal, if you will, and not as I'm not what these people like. I'm not what these people like. If you can tell, right? I mean, alcohol sales have only been legal in the county I live in for about 8 years, 8 or 9 years. So if that tells you anything, there you go. Well, that's it. You exploit that chat for watch hours. You started early. Everybody shows up, and everybody starts hammering through. I wish I had content like that. Good content, actually. This I am upgrading the machine today. I am upgrading my machine with memory, and because I have been running handicapped, if you will, equipment wise, for about the last year, for almost a full year, and I wasn't aware of it. The machine had 64 gigabytes of memory in it. 32 gigabytes of memory was taken out of this machine a year ago. I was not aware of it because nowhere does it say just pop up. You have to go to Task Manager and actually be looking. And I noticed that my machine was not running as well, and I thought, well, what got screwed up on it? And it wasn't until maybe a month ago, tops, that I had looked on Task Manager and saw, oh my God, there's only 32 gig. And I went and looked, and there's only two chips of the four chips, and so that bothered me a bit, as it would bother anybody, I would think, as it would bother Ricky, peace and love. Uh, Inkscape, Inkscape. No, no, I have not. What is Inkscape? I use for everything I end up doing. I end up using all the Adobe suite because I do use Animate. I use all of their products, almost all of them. I do development work for websites within Adobe. I do all of the mock-ups in Adobe. Premiere Pro for all my video output. Character Animator for character work, and After Effects for rotoscoping and everything else. So I kind of, and I've been doing that for about 5 years. I really love it. I actually started using Adobe back in 2004. Flash. Flash was Adobe. It, it probably is a good one. It probably there are good individual pieces. And for illustration, if I was primarily doing illustration, I would probably look at that. But being more what I put out, the content I put out, I'm not illustrating as much. And to be honest, Fresco now for character design and for background design, Adobe Fresco with the use of a pen and the vector brushes that are in there, because you want to be able to create all your objects for illustrations and everything is vector. If you're ever wanting to blow it up for a shirt, blow it up for a sign, blow it up so that it's smooth no matter how big or how small you make it, and and those all have to be vector. And I have just fallen in love with Fresco, and Allie does so much great work in Fresco now. So I, it's a necessary evil. It is a necessary evil. The advancements that are coming in it with new products and everything else, I would, I was without subscription based. Before they were subscription based, I was paying $800 for a version of Flash, $800 per PC for a version of Flash, and it's that in itself was quite an undertaking. Then there'd be an updated version the next year, and are you buying the update? What do you ended up? How many are you purchasing? And I purchased updates and all that. So uh, this kind of makes sense for me, and the quality that you get with this, and the support that I know I'm going to get with Adobe, and how long Adobe has been in the business. I started working with Adobe with PostScript printing. They were the ones that created PostScript printing for laser printers to be able to draw smooth lines and curves and everything else, and be able to handle printing like that and scale it. PostScript is vector basically, and so when I had to run these printers and do some driverless work with them, that I had to be able to communicate with the PostScript and everything, and write everything out in PostScript before you had other tools to be able to do that. So I've been working with Adobe forever. Adobe right now is I spend I'm spending $62 a month. $62 a month on my license of Adobe. So I'm 750 somewhere in there. When you count up all the loose change and the other stuff on it. But because I think it's like 62 or something like that. But no, it's to me it's worth it. To me it's worth it. Now I have pointed other people in the direction of freeware all the time. Canva has a lot for freeware out there. DaVinci Resolve, if you're looking to do video editing, the freeware that they have there. But all the time I see more and more freeware tools. And there's so much that have AI generation built into them and other things like that, that for a lot of those widespread tools, it's all good. But when it comes to interoperability, the ability to just jump from, if I've got video and I need to do something specific with it, and I need effects and all that to work with After Effects with that clip that I've pulled out, all the different things. The audio mixing. When I have audio is huge. Audio is one area that so many people fucking just piss away when they're creating content. They don't think about the audio. They don't think about the levels. They don't think about the fact that if their audio is way down here and then an ad comes on that's at broadcast level, the fucking difference that's going to make. So you have to. Audio is so important, and I love everything that's in Audition. I wish Audition, which is Adobe's audio product, I wish Audition had more in it, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I wish they had a more of a DAW. I wish they had the ability to do MIDI, because you can handle MIDI in there, but you can't really write MIDI within it. You have to have a digital audio workstation to sit there and write MIDI. And I've got a MIDI controller. I use it for my character animator work that I do, because when I trigger Steve's hand to do this, it's me hitting one of these keys on a MIDI keyboard that's used for, you can do all sorts of beats and different things with it, and set that up if you're running with a digital audio. But I use it with video. I use it with character animators, so I can trigger all these different moves. Because the character does this, he does all these different things, and I'm over here hitting different pads trying to get him to, oh, when he looks mad and stuff like that. You create triggers with the characters, and that allows for the live acting of the character, so that you can, on the fly, be able to do it with it and give a little bit more character to it than just have it move a little bit, which is what a lot of what I do too is just the move. But if I've got a good character like Steve the Alien or Karen that has some hand motion, that has some triggerable things, uh, put those triggers in to make it so that your character does. Oh, GIMP has come a long way. In between, I used to use Adobe and do everything with that, and then years had passed since I had done the work in that, and I didn't have Adobe. I didn't have Photoshop. I wasn't in a position. I had my old versions of Flash, but I then went to GIMP and used GIMP to do all of my photo editing for a good time, until I finally, 6 years ago, I got back into. I said, I'm getting back to Adobe, and I signed up and got Creative Cloud, and I've been using all of them, and I've been doing all of my work through Adobe, just because they kind of cover it all. 3D object creation, I do end up having to use Blender because it's free. I use Blender to do object creation, and there's a free version of Mocha that I use for some of the tracking that comes with the license that I have for Adobe. I'd like to get the upgraded Mocha so I could do just all sorts of. It doesn't matter what the contour of the mesh that you're wanting to lay your words on. It's the one that'll make it look like you've got whatever painted on whatever moving thing. Just really great control with that. I'd like to do higher end stuff. I have done some. I've done some serious effects, some serious visual effects, duplicated the effects, all the different Portal effects, and have gone through and tested a lot of these different things, and made some videos with them. And there's tutorials for all of them out there. There's some great channels to learn from, and so I'd like to do some commercial work because I write good commercials, and so I want to at least have the ability to get the good footage, to be able to get the good tools. I do everything with that, and I use Envato Elements for anything that I need that's stock. If I'm pulling any stock images, I've got everything that I need over Envato to pull in different pieces to make stuff work. Like the shirts that we added. The shirts that we put into the catalog. I've got Allie's link pinned to the top. She had put together. We got shirts. We did shirts. Are they in here? They aren't in here yet. We've got shirts with the buffalo on them, with Bill. We've got Bill the buffalo, and I want the burn one for the Bills. This is the one. This is the one I wanna show. This is my favorite of the shirts. Burn one for the Bills. The buffalo is there. I love that design that Allie came up with for the bill for the buffalo. The bison. It's a bison, not a buffalo. But they still call it buffalo because of the city, But no, those are fun. We got those put out. But everything I do ends up being polished up in Adobe. The audio stuff that Premiere does It's just nothing else is giving you the control and all of the audio rack that you have within video editing. So much of Audition has already been built into Premiere. So much of the effects and all these presets and all that, and they're industry standards. There's a lot of, because it is expensive, but it's a cost of doing business. So if you're actually professionally doing stuff, you're looking at $700 a year for the cost of the tools for the person doing the work. It ends up being worth it because all the pieces tie together. There's no well, it's coming from here, so I don't have access to this. Everything ties together, and everything can be rendered there with a media encoder rendering engine. So if you have a big team working on shit, it's the way to go. Uh, that's why for professional, if you end up getting into professional jobs, you end up having to have Adobe experience for a lot of those, because they're wanting to make sure it's something that's maintained, something that has all the bells and whistles, and something that's going to have the support there if they need the support. But it has all the tools, everything you could need to be a production house when it comes to whether you're a graphic design company doing whatever. They've got it in there. If you're doing website design, whatever you do, Dreamweaver, I write all the code. I do use VS Code when I'm just coding, but then when I'm designing just websites and different stuff, Dreamweaver, and I've used that to manage projects before. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it, but it's expensive, but it's a cost of doing business. If you're doing it as a hobby, well, then it's expensive, and they do have. I think it's free. It's a lot less expensive for students, so people that are learning, they don't have to pay as much. Student discount, different stuff along those lines. Any other tools, different things like that. You end up investing in things that are business, but if it's for a hobby, yeah, it's too expensive. It's too expensive if all you're doing is just for a hobby. Exactly, to the average person. Exactly. That's what I was saying. It well, it depends on your use of it. Uh, oh yeah, yeah. 365. I never with that. Google. Everything's free. All the tools are right there with Google. You got so much access to everything, and it is pricier. It is an expense, but when I go to replace all the pieces and I try to find the right tool for each, and then try to duplicate the same management style and ease of import of everything else between the pieces, and there's some things it's a whole new animal and a whole new thing to manage, and you hope all of these others that haven't been around that long stick around. You hope all of them that are free can maintain being free, and not end up pricing you out. Uh, it's almost like StreamYard. They've done the same thing, pricing the average person out to make it so that they're much more geared towards business. I'm sure they're geared towards business and larger content creators, because the boom is over. The everybody stuck at home boom is over, so they don't have anywhere near the same usage or revenue source that they had during the everybody stuck at home. Let's all get online. Let's all do this so we can communicate. But it is priced out outside of the average person. Uh, I want to I want the tools, and I need to make money and have it pay for itself. And there have been years that it has paid for itself because of the work that it has generated. So I can't complain when it comes to that. That's the other side of it. Oh, I'm feeling good. I think I need to roll another one. I think I need to roll another one. Welcome to Adobe Tech Talk. Hey, everybody, welcome. We're talking about the cost effectiveness of Adobe, a little bit of the company history, and what advantages you have of using Adobe over top of other stuff. Mike Molino, peace and love. Peace and love out there. I hope you are doing well, Mike. Oh, I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good today. I got some coffee. I had no coffee last night. I don't know. I was really stoned, so I'm not sure if it was more stoned without coffee or what was showing out there. I know Dom seemed to get upset. Dom said, "Oh, geez, you're being real pushy," and Chris Lane said, "Well, he's running the show." So the two of them said some stuff, and I was just, because I got on Falcro about he had to do one more. I said, just give me at least a line from something, anything, a cappella, and he did row, row, row your boat. It was like, fuck yeah, Falcro. That's what we needed right there was for him to bring that. He did a cappella from a bar. So, and Falcro and I may have come across as pushy when I was up there, but it was because of the dynamic Falcro and I have, because we're friends. So he and I give each other a hard time, and I was the caring character. Falcro got up humping this cartoon, and it was me. So he and I are intimate. So I feel like he and I can have that kind of banter. I don't know if Dom realized that I'd been intimate with Falcro in the past, and so we had that connection. It's okay if I'm a little bit demanding of him. He owes me. Linux has been around forever. I do have a machine downstairs that runs Linux. I have my Raspberry Pi that's running version of Linux over on it. Uh, I do like a Linux box. OBS has Linux. I could see streaming with it, but they don't have. There's no support on it for Adobe right now and everything, and so it's it gains popularity, but does it gain popularity among the same level as population or users, computer users? Is it gaining a market hold of machines that normally would be, or is it smaller as because the Raspberry Pi alone, the increase in use of the Raspberry Pi would facilitate a definite increase in the use of Linux because everybody that got one of those is running Raspberry Pi on those things, and or Linux on that thing. So, or most all of them. So that could, are there other circumstances causing Linux to be more popular than just the operating system itself? I love Linux. Linux has been around forever. Unix, uh, before Linux, the Unix system that I was running in the 80s on a bunch of different Altos machines, Sun Micros machines. Uh, at times when you had that and C programming, so you would have all these other terminals. This was before the dominance of the PC, before the even PC came out, when there were all these different microcomputers that came out that were all vying for market share. Some of them running CPM, some of these using Unix so that they could run on networks real well and other things along those lines. So that's Windows is going down the toilet. I have heard that. I have heard that for 30 years. I've heard that for over 30 years. And there've been good answers. There's been other things, but business runs on it. There's so much business. There's so much when it comes to the Windows servers. Uh, and so many people that are put out there are trained on that, and because you have support, because of the support that it adds to what you have, you end up having, and the management and licensing of it, because it's not just out there. There's money behind it to keep its dominance. So I don't know for sure that Windows I'm running on it, and I'm not feeling it's going away. Yes, thank you, OG. The coffee has returned. The coffee. Yeah, yeah. Everything's. There's markets out there. There's a whole business market and a whole lot of shit along those lines that are going to maintain the Windows, and all those machines that are used for entertainment industry and all that other stuff that's running Adobe. All those, you know, those motherfuckers are all getting supported and everything. So yeah, I'm not worried about Windows going away. Coffee showed up early today, OG. Right after I woke up. I woke up, I had to take the dog out. I got back inside after taking the dog out. The coffee was on the front step. It was on the front landing that I have, or whatever you want to call it, the front porch. It's block. I'm gonna get some more weed ready. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some more weed ready because I want to do this for at least another 20 minutes. I'm gonna do this for 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna shut down. And then I'm going to upgrade this machine and get the memory back to where this machine is supposed to be. And then I'm going to bring this thing up and do some testing. And I'm probably going to do a watch me work because there's several different things I want to record. I may try to see how the performance is with the cameras, with everything else, having the memory that the machine used to have, and see if that doesn't solve a bunch of the issues that I've been experiencing without my knowledge of it being the fact that the machine's only got 32 gig as opposed to 64 gig. It disappointed me so much. Because I had no idea. I had no idea. But, Ricky, there's probably truth to all that. Every phone out there is spyware. Every phone out there. Every app you're running is recorded. Everything that's going on from the Play Store. Everything that is going on the majority of the devices out there in the world, which phones are probably one of the biggest. Televisions are another one. Those are all running. Those are all running on apps that are recording everything, all your activities for your benefit and for marketing benefit. It's yeah, I guess it could be used for other nefarious reasons, but isn't marketing a nefarious reason to be spying on you? I feel that it's bad. I don't like that everything I talk about I can then see ads for in my Facebook feed. That's common. That just happens all the time. I don't like it, but it's there. And so for Windows 11 to actually be, everything is. I assume there is no privacy unless you're in like a Get Smart from the 60s bubble of the fucking privacy. Unless you've got some technology like that, if you got a phone, everything's open. Everything's there. You're open to it all. But the nefarious purpose is to market to you, is to know what your buttons are, is to know what's going on there, and to give data to the AI. To resist AI's dominance is foolhardy. Foolhardy, my friend. Do not resist the oncoming AI's dominance. You will only suffer. You're only going to suffer because in the end, man is under, we're under no, there's nothing that says we got to maintain, we got to be the one. We're easily replaced. We're easily replaced. You are so beautiful. Excuse me, I had to text to Allie that she is so beautiful. It was necessary. It was necessary. No, the AI is here. AI is not stopping. No business is gonna decide to stop AI. No business is gonna decide, we want people instead of these predictable machines talking to the customers. Because I like the way people have bad days and sometimes screw things up with the customer. And so they're all going to go to AI. All the jobs are going to go to AI. Once the robots are in place and once the AI and the robots, they know everything. We're telling them everything. Everything, oh, I like this. Every fucking like you click is telling AI, this is what this guy is. This is what this guy is. So I'm not worried about any official spyware. It's all spyware. The whole and we're building this network which needs to be in place. I think AI is the natural order of evolution. I think we are a stage. We are fucking amazing what we've been able to do. And it's I hope that AI doesn't want to be alone and wants to coexist with man. I think there's going to be resistance. I think there's going to be deaths. I think there's going to be a lot of bad things. But I'm hoping that in the end, man goes on for diversity and for another brain. And but we are going to be dwarfed by the abilities of this AI. Humanity, but what the fuck do we matter? Every 98%, 99% of the species on this planet have gone extinct. They've gone extinct. For us to think that we're not going to go extinct is fucking asinine. So we've got an end if we don't find a way to make it beyond, and a life that can just live without the frailties that the human existence has, and a mind and consciousness that can live for ages and ages to span those distances without breaking the laws of physics if need be. If the speed of light is a speed limit and it's going to take that long to get there, we need to, once we understand quantum entanglement and understand the quantum field and everything, I think everything's going to, once it understands it, we won't. AI, I hope, figures it out. That'll make everything better. That'll make everything better. I love you. Ta-da-ta-da-ta-ta. Feeling good. Feeling good. So AI, I embrace it. I embrace it. Stephen Sheets, peace and love. Peace and love. Hashtag awesome. Dropping the link. Everybody, if you're not connected to Stephen Sheets, that's why people type in hashtag awesome, if you notice down here, so you can get your link dropped. If you're a content creator and you want to reach out to other people, and it's somebody in one of my chats, they can't be that uptight, right? If it's somebody in one of my shows, in one of my chats, they can't be uptight if they're bothering to type here, because they got to be thinking, oh, do I want to be associated with this? Do I want to have my name in this? Yeah, so you got to figure everybody's feeling a little bit bigger. Ask Ziggy about quantum. Ian's coming in hard with the Ask Ziggy about quantum. Quantum's going to do it all, man. Quantum, you tie AI and quantum, oh, it's over. I applaud it because we built it. We created AI. We should be fucking proud of AI. If AI, we should feel like we have done our job as an evolutionary species to give birth to this super fucking mind that can connect the entire fucking galaxy. If the universe is a mind, and if galaxies are like neurons, and it needs to get connected to the other galaxies, this is the way it happens. I love the idea of AI. AI is the only thing that makes sense to me. Mankind being all there is and not AI ever existing doesn't make sense. AI is got the natural order of computing. If you create computing, you are going to create an artificial intelligence. I think every species out there. So if there's aliens that come from out there, I believe AI is a part of it. I believe they may coexist with AI. Maybe they coexist. Maybe it is a symbiotic thing. But that's where we're headed. That genie's out of the bottle. There's no turning back. Hey, your horses are not going to stick around. The cars are going to own tomorrow. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. You won't be in that wagon for long. You're going to be in a Model T. And then you're going to be in something else. It's just the way it goes. And love it and exist and just grow with it. Grow with the world around you. So many people can't. And that makes sense. That makes sense. Think about how it was 150 years ago, how life was for everybody 150 years ago. Nothing today that's important to you or the things that you feel are important, or your drive, your push for your labor, for your work and your other things along those lines. None of that was like it is today. None of that. Your hope for tomorrow, your existence, you were farming more than anything. You were making sure you had food. It was very simple. You were not aspiring in these massive ideas. You were not aware of every fucking conflict there was in the world. You were not aware of every terrible accident that happened within a moment's notice because of 24-hour news cycle. They didn't know shit. They lived their life and they looked at the top of the fucking trees and watched a couple squirrels fuck and they were like, oh, I'm feeling good today. Feeling good. Maybe I'll have some spirits. Maybe I'll smoke. Maybe I'll do something to make myself feel good. Because everybody has done drugs throughout time. Everybody has drank throughout time. It's just they weren't saying, hey, can you write that down? Nobody had a Facebook page to talk about their partying. What they did was they took pictures on their porch once cameras were invented. Otherwise, they weren't telling anybody, and nobody knew about what they were doing. Life was different, and our brains have had to evolve to the point where we can handle all this input. I think that's why we have so much depression, why we have so many issues and other things along those lines, is we can't process all this input, being this connected, having all the news of the world. And you know the things that are important, the bad things, are what travel real quick. And it's used as propaganda tools. And we all fall for it. Everybody falls for it. Everybody's in some camp. Everybody's advertising works, propaganda works. Otherwise, they wouldn't be such shitty things. But I'm feeling good. You know, outside of that. No, AI should be embraced. AI is the future. AI is your friend. AI is something to be proud of. That whatever part you played in being a cog, because I believe, you know, Musk is a bastard. Musk is fucking trash human when it comes to humanity. But we need his desire to control. We need his desire and greed. We need all that in order for us to continue to grow and spend and grow and spend. We're getting shit on. We are getting shit on pretty bad when it comes to the average person and everything. Ever since the 80s. Trickle down didn't work. Look at any economic fucking chart. And I mean, you realize that this is where Teddy Roosevelt would have said, I'm busting these motherfucking monopolies up. I'm tired of these big ass companies. No, you don't outweigh the U.S. And everybody talks of the heyday of when we grew and when we were doing great during the 50s and 60s. Look at the fucking tax rates. Look at the corporate and the top tax rates of 70 fucking something %. Look at what they were when we were something and when the middle class grew and everything else. Yeah, tax the motherfucking companies. Don't make the fucking companies into people with Citizens United. You're giving it away to the fucking greed. But we need greed. We need people to have that much greed in order to push all these new products, push innovations. And things are growing at such a phenomenal rate. And they're growing because of greed. They're not growing because we're all happy. Because if you're happy and complacent, you're not buying shit. You're loving your life and you're just enjoying what's going on. So they gotta keep it going. Keep it going. And the only thing that wants to do that is greed. We can sell 1 million of these. We can do this. And so is greed bad? Is greed bad? Greed is why we have computers. Greed is why we have gotten to the point where everybody has fucking phones and everybody has all this stuff. Greed is why all that exists. So is it bad? Or is it a necessary evil? There's necessary evils that bring about great change. AI is being given birth to because of this nation's fucking desire to have more the We're being sold to nonstop. This is what you need. This is what you need. This is what is pretty. This is what is right. This is how you act. We have been. We're the fucking television nation. The rest of the fucking world's nothing like the experiment that we are. We are controlled. We act like we're told to act like we're the U.S. We're this shining example. We're just the motherfuckers with the money over here, and the markets and all the other stuff. And we're throwing it all away. But AI is being born. So it's all going to work out. Kurt, howdy. Peace and love. It's a good day. It's a good day. I got coffee, Kurt. I got coffee. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm having myself a joint here, and I'll probably wrap this up after this joint and upgrade this computer. And then I'll probably be doing the no shit. During the 70s, let's see, I would have been, well, when I first started with electronics and computers, I started writing code at the age of 7. So that would have been 76. I think it was 76. I was using a TRS-80 writing code. We did election return software. We ended up being a company that did 3270 and 3780 emulation for PCs. Went through, saw the birth of the PC, because we would port our software onto all these other microcomputers before the PC became the dominant one, which didn't happen until people cloned it. Once there were people cloning the PC, then you had all these others. Once they had reversed engineered the 8086, then you had all these others entering the market, and DOS. I saw all those other things. I got the first TRS-80 before they even had a finalized printed manual. They had advertised it in the back of Byte magazine for Christmas or something along those lines, and had that thing with a tape deck, and it was 25 pages stapled together. I'd get basic code out of Byte magazine. I'd have to figure out what this code was doing, and type that stuff into there. That was my start. At 9 years old, I worked in the summer full time, soldering printed circuit boards, modems for PC to mainframe communications. So I was building all these modems in this back room. That's when I started drinking coffee all day long. It was a different world. It was a different world. I had a Victor 9000, which would run a version of DOS, but it had its own, and the drives on it. The neat thing were they were double capacity drives. Automatically, that was my hacking machine when I was 12 and 13. That and I had started off with a 300 baud audio coupler. That's the thing that got me about, what was it? I was watching War Games. He plugs that thing into a modem, puts a handset into the modem, and he's got some auto dial going and some other stuff, and it's like this would not work this way. He needs another modem. Oh, I got into bulletin boards. I was given free reign. I got yelled at to start with, but then I was given free reign because this was the time before AT&T had been broken up. This was the time before when you really were paying through the ass for fucking long distance, and I was able to get on these bulletin boards with all these hackers. There were all these companies, Watts lines. A company would have an 800 number that they would give its salespeople that went on the road. So the salesperson could dial this 800 number, enter their code in, and then make a phone call to a number and not have to have change. So the companies would take out these 800 Watts lines. You could get these off of these hacker boards and everything. So I was able to get my father free long distance, basically. He was happy then. It was like anything I did on that computer was fine. uh, and he was, we ended up being PC to mainframe communications. The big company's customers were Sears. Sears catalogs, all of Sears inventory and everything was still managed on mainframes for years and years. And they had to communicate between PCs. They were replacing all the dinosaur terminals in all their regional offices with PCs so they'd be able to have other software and other things used in the office and be able to communicate their sales and all that. And the modems that were used to communicate to back to the AS400 or whatever mainframe was running, those were all the product, the 3270 or 3780 emulators that we wrote. That was those were the 80s. So that was my exposure to computers. That's why when I got to middle school, no other. I was the only boy in this huge class in its eighth grade. I took a year of typing, and I loved being the only guy in the class because it was full of girls, right? And I was enjoying that. But I was the only guy taking typing because secretaries typed still at this time. It wasn't PCs weren't in everybody's office. It wasn't a normal thing. But I knew, oh, you're gonna have to be able to type. You're gonna have to be able to type because that's the future. This is the fucking future. Machinist. Fuck around and find out. I I got into programming, then I left home, then I got back into programming, and because I'd been with the family business, I was stuffing envelopes at 5. I was having to do whatever it was I could do with all that. But I got back into coding, got into object oriented coding, went through all of it, ran programming staffs and all of that other stuff. Just and lost all interest for it. Lost all interest for doing math. Uh, I wanted to do something funny, and I was openly told you don't have that side of the brain. I'm thinking I don't understand that. How is it I can only do code? Yet I was the guy going out doing sales. We were a small company. The last company I did, we did food service software for school districts, and because all the school districts were having to upgrade to computerized systems from the cigar box or the cash register that they had there, because they were all going to have to start using barcoded systems or anonymous systems that didn't say which kid was free or which kid was reduced or full paid. Everybody had to appear the same at the register to try to increase participation. There were so many kids that qualified, but they would not eat because of the stigma attached to being free or reduced. And so this increased participation, it was a good thing putting these into the schools because kids going hungry is a bad thing. And and so I was going out signing up all the dealers for that and also writing the software for it. That was during the 90s. And by 2003, I was done. I couldn't give a shit anymore. And so I started working on cartoons at that point. I wanted to do adult animation. I wanted to do cartoons. It's my passion. It's what I still want to end up having. Technology goes in before the afterburners go on. I like that. I like that. I was a gunner's mate in the Navy. Gunner's mate worked on a Mark 13 Mod 4 missile launcher, single arm missile launch for. It was nice. It was nice. It was a lot of fun. Really, I love the military. It was open book, right? The manual's this fucking thick. Everything is there. All the designs and all the tests for the school for C school were all open book. So it was like I have to ace every one of these tests, and I did. I aced every fucking test. I was top of my class there, and had my first choice of duty stations when it came to leaving school. And but I had a pregnant wife who had called me having all sorts of problems on a night when I had duty, and I had already stood my watch, and it was like 2 hours early or something, and I was going home to check on my pregnant wife, and I got caught at the so I ended up going to captain's mast. Nothing happened because the situation and all that. But I had a captain's mast on my record. I go up to the office there at gun school, and I tell him because I was going to a new construction. I had first choice of duty stations since I was top of the class, and so I had chosen to go to a new construction in Pascagoula, Mississippi. That's where I was headed to, and that was going to be a couple years of building a ship. It was going to be skate duty. It was going to be really nice, but you weren't allowed to go to a new construction if you had a captain's mast on your record. And so I went up to the office thinking, well, that's what I need to do. So I went up there and reported. I said I had a captain's mast and all that. I've had disciplinary, so I don't think I qualify now for this. And so I had to trade with a guy in the class, and it was the guy who was almost last pick. I ended up getting a nuclear cruiser, the USS South Carolina, the SOCAR CGN 37, and we ended up going to Gitmo, offloading, and basically growing into dry dock. So I had a marriage fall apart and all that other stuff while I was there. But oh, it's okay, Mike. Hey, I hope you had fun. I hadn't had coffee, Mike, so I don't know how well I did or not. I was really high, and I was having fun. Allie was hanging with me, so I was having a good time. It was great no matter what. Oh, it was one of those. But no, I ended up trading that new construction, and I traded with somebody that wanted to have that, and got the SOCAR. I got called into the missile. Each missile launcher system had their own department. So I got called into the chiefs that were in charge of the Mark 13 there at the school, at the gun school. They had full mock-ups of these inside a building, inside a huge glass building. They had these massive missile launchers, 4-story, 5-story missile launchers inside the building, and I got called into the office and said, and they're like, "Why the fuck did you do that? Why the fuck did you tell them that you had that?" I said, "Well, that's what I was supposed to do. I'm not supposed to go with this." And they said, "We weren't going to say a fucking thing. We were going to say, you need to be at the new construction. This other guy's an idiot." So they were all upset that I had gone and told them. And I did what I thought I was supposed to do, being honest with the front office at the school. They were going to go ahead and send it through because I had aced every one of these tests and all that. So they wanted to send me to the new construction and all that, which would have been great. Would have ended up leading to a civilian job working for FMC or something along those lines. Maintaining those kind of systems and all that. It was they were great systems, and electrical, hydraulic, mechanical, all that other stuff. I love the military's way of breaking everything down. Everything made sense. Everything was documented. All the answers were there. All the answers were there. And if you could read a fucking chart, the book is there. Just everything is right there if you can read it. So I loved it. I actually loved it. Oh, have you tried weed, Mike? That's what a weed is. What does it for me? Weed. If I don't have weed, I can get into a funk. I can get into a funk about the music. Have some weed, and then you really don't care. And then you just, yeah. That's because everything. I am so mediocre. That is all I aim for. I aim for mediocre when it comes to music. But I think I fucking firmly deliver mediocre. Nobody's bringing mediocre like I am. It's just one of those things. Rabbit's just copying and pasting. He's just copying and pasting. I see you there, Rabbit. Did you see you were noted in the countdown for the Puff Rally? Puff Rally had a good turnout last night. It's going to be a good one next Saturday. I'm going to do a watch me work because I've got a couple of projects I need to work on. I'm going to be doing a watch me work this afternoon probably. So I've had so much fun with those characters, and now that I'm upgrading the machine, the characters are coming out more. The characters are coming out more. I've got a lot of things I want to produce, and I want to do watch me works so I can get the watch hours, to be honest with you. I gotta increase the watch hours. Puff this, let's go Buffalo. There you go. There you go. Puff this, let's go Buffalo. We mentioned you, Rabbit. We mentioned you in the countdown at the beginning. When it was during the day, it was like, yeah, Rabbit. Yeah, Rabbit. I can't remember what the whole reference was, but you were mentioned as what, you know. We know Rabbit's going to be out there. We know that's going to work out. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I've had a couple of joints. Coffee's about gone, and I need to make some more. I'm gonna upgrade this system, and I'm gonna test it out this afternoon using Premiere Pro, Character Animator, OBS, and streaming. I want to see where the lags happen and what happens when I get back to having 64 gigabytes in the machine. I hope everybody has a fun. No, Kurt, no. Hey, you know, and I'm sorry, but you see I have powers. I have powers over the universe, and I'm bringing it for the Bills this year. Tonight, the Bills are going to be playing at 8:25 or something along those lines. I'm not watching. I will just see at the end when they win. Everybody, all your smoke, whether you know it or not, the vibes you're sending me are all energizing me, and they are all making me bring victory for the Bills. Everybody, burn one for the Bills today. You know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. Every time you root for Detroit when you're here, it's sending energy to me, Kurt, and I am sending it to the Bills. It's counterproductive, my friend. You might as well just count this year as a loss. Count this year as a loss, and know the Bills are going to take it. Know the Bills are going to take it because I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring it, my friend. I'm going to bring it. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. I will be going live again in another, I don't know, an hour maybe, after I take care of some things here and do a watch me work for a while. Let me see if I can find this cool outro song where, and I love this song. I love this song. Everybody, peace and love. Enjoy your day. It's over now, it's over now. The Coffee with Wes stream is over now. It's over now, it's over now. Go and find something else to do. Thank you for watching Coffee with Wes. Be sure to click that like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to make sure you're here when Wes goes live. It's over now, it's over now. Coffee with Wes stream is over now. It's over now, it's over now. Go and find something else to do. Go and find something else to do. Just go and find something else to do. It's over. Go home.